Call this special meeting of council to order. First, I'd like to respectfully acknowledge that this meeting is taking place on the traditional territory of the Nanawas First Nation. First item is adoption of the agenda, so I'll just move that the April 29th, 2026 special council meeting agenda be adopted with additional information for item 5A or correspondence as presented. Is there a seconder? Second by Councillor Jones. Any additions, deletions? Okay, hearing nothing, I will move to call in question. All those in favor, opposed, that's carried unanimously. That takes us on to Mayor and Council verbal updates for this brevity of having a quick meeting tonight. Do we need to do this tonight? Any objections? Okay, hearing nothing, we'll move on. Nothing under, oh, sorry, we do have some under consent. Any items in the consent agenda being requested to be removed? Actually, I'll be removing item 5A. Yeah, that's the one I need to remove. Okay, so we'll just take one at a time then. So I'll just move that item, the remaining item 5B in the consent agenda be approved. Is there a seconder? Second by Councillor Lerner. And then I'll move to call in the question. All those in favor and opposed? That's carried unanimously. And then we're on to the financial plan bylaw. Someone prepared to move that motion? Go ahead, Councillor Lerner.
The District of Lantzville 2026-2030 Financial Plan Bylaw number 429-2026 be adopted.
Okay, and is there a seconder to that? Second by Councillor Savage. We're at adoption, so I'll just move to call in the question. All those in favor and opposed? Mayor Swain's opposed. It carries. Takes us to item 6 of our agenda, public input. So persons recognized by the chair to speak must first state their name and address for the record. May speak to up to one or once for up to 2 minutes. Unless council resolves otherwise, they're limited to providing information, providing comment regarding items listed on this evening's agenda. Comments must be directed to the chair and must not be directed to individual members of the council, staff, or the audience, and must not include personal issues. So we have one member in the gallery this evening. And just name and address for the record, please.
Dave Scott, 6898 Harwood Drive. I'd like to speak to the budget again, and I note that Mayor Swain is opposed to it, and I believe in the last meeting he expressed his concerns about underfunding our infrastructure. And I've looked at the budget, and I've raised it last time, but from what I can understand is the Transportation Infrastructure Reserve, which used to be the Roads Reserve. I know we changed it, a bunch of the reserve names and how they were structured under one of the temporary financial director of finances. But when I look at the numbers, I get quite alarmed because if we look at the road infrastructure, it went 650, 680,000, and then it dropped, and it's gone to 451 in 2024, 188 in 2025, it's 290 in 2026, and it'll be 301 in 2027. Unless we're putting some other monies in there that are coming from somewhere else, whether from interest or whatever, we're half of what we were putting in previously. The other one, if we look at, is infrastructure. And if we look at that one, I'm just going to find it here. To infrastructure reserve, it was 451,000 in 2024. Then it goes down to 188,000, so less than half. Then it goes from 188 to, gotta get right years here, it's up to 190. So from what I can see is we're putting half the money into a bunch of our infrastructure, unless I'm missing something here somewhere, and our roads aren't improving, and our water systems aren't improving, and our sewer systems aren't improving and our other infrastructure is not improving, it's deteriorating. I mean, the urban systems report that we had said we were seriously underfunding our infrastructure. And it appears that we're actually funding it less now than we were then, and we were underfunding. Anyways, I think we have a significant problem and we have to deal with it. And the only way I think we can deal with it is significantly increase taxes, unfortunately. I don't like paying taxes any more than anybody else, but we have to maintain our infrastructure. We have a lot of money invested in it. Thank you.
And anybody registered remotely this evening? Nobody? Okay, so that takes us to item 7A. So we have District of Lantzville tax rate bylaw 431-2026. Director Sapola, is there anything further to introduce here?
No, Your Worship.
Okay, thank you. Is someone prepared to do first reading? Go ahead, Councillor Lerner.
The District of Lantzville 2026 tax rates bylaw number 431-2026 be given first reading.
And we have a seconder, second by Councillor Savage. I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed? That's carried unanimously. And then someone prepared to do second reading. Go ahead, Councillor Lerner.
The District of Lantzville 2026 tax rates bylaw number 431-2026 be given second reading.
Okay, is there a seconder? Second by Councillor Savage, and then discussion, if you wish, through the mover, a seconder. Okay, hearing nothing, I will move then to call it, oh, sorry, the rest of the council. Okay, and I'll call the question then. All those in favor and opposed, that's carried unanimously, and that takes us on to the next one. Go ahead, Councillor Jones.
That District of Lantzville 2026 tax rates bylaw number 431-2026 be given third reading.
And do we have a second by Councillor Lerner, and then any further discussion? Not that we had any, but not that we have to have any. Okay, I'm gonna call the question. All those in favor, opposed, that's carried unanimously. Moves us on to any late items to be introduced. Notices of motion. And lastly, public clarification. So persons recognized by the chair to speak must receive their name and address for the record and the agenda item for which they are seeking clarification, and may speak once for up to 2 minutes to ask clarification questions regarding how did the vote go, any technicalities, requests, or interpretation of abbreviations or jargon used during the meeting. Okay, and do we have anybody remotely registered that's jumped onto the meeting? Nobody? Okay. All right, so we made it through the agenda. I declare the meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.